Hello and welcome to another tarot reading from me. I know that a lot of people were probably hoping that I was gonna do another relationship-based tarot reading because I have seen that those are the most viewed on my channel. However, I really felt a strong urge to do something connected with messages from the ancestors or messages from loved ones who have passed, considering the fact that it is around that time of the year, around Halloween, Day of the Dead, as it is called in many places in Europe, or Samhain, or Dia de Muertos, or whatever you want to call it. So yeah, pretty much. So today's reading is going to be on messages from your ancestors, or you can focus on a dear one who has passed that you have known well, and the messages are going to be on the next chapter in your life. So this section is going to be for those of you who want to choose with crystals, and you have 4 options to choose from. Option number 1 is this black onyx crystal. Option number 2 is this amethyst crystal. Option number 3 is this ruby zoisite crystal. And option number 4 is this smoky quartz crystal. Before you choose your pile, once again, I recommend you take some moments to breathe deeply, breathe into your stomach, try to exhale longer than you inhale. That's going to help you calm down. Keep your eyes closed and focus on the question at hand, and then open your eyes and just choose the first stone that stands out to you. And of course, if you feel drawn to 2 or even all of them, 2, 3, or 4 stones at the same time, you can watch all of them and see which one resonates. I will see you at your reading. So this is for those of you who would like to choose with oracle cards. This is going to be the choosing of the oracle cards. You can skip directly to choosing your pile if you don't want to sit through this, because I will be taking my time. So Spirit, what can you tell me about pile number 1 and their ancestors or their loved ones who have passed? What messages do these loved ones want to send? What messages do their ancestors have about the next chapter in their lives? What can you tell me about pile number 1? What messages do they have for pile number 1's next chapter? What do their ancestors have to say to pile number 1 about the next chapter in their lives? Help me choose a tarot card. Help me choose a tarot card. Help me choose an oracle card. Help me choose the right card, Spirit, for pile number 1. For pile number 1. Okay, Spirit, what can you tell me about pile number 2's ancestors? What messages do pile number 2's ancestors have about the next chapter in their lives? What messages do pile number 2's ancestors have about the next chapter in their lives? What messages do pile number 2's ancestors have? Spirit, what messages do pile number 3's ancestors have about the next chapter in their lives? Help me out, Spirit. Help me choose an oracle card. What messages do pile number 3's ancestors have for the next chapter in their lives? What messages do pile number 3's ancestors have for the next chapter in their lives? Yeah, I really felt like choosing this one. Spirit, what messages do pile number 4's ancestors have about the next chapter in their lives? Pile number 4, the people who chose the smoky quartz crystal. Spirit, what messages do you have for pile number 4 from their ancestors? What messages do you have? Okay, this one wanted to come out. All right, so pile number 1, you have transformation. Pile number 2, you have elixir of life. Pile number 3, you have lullaby. Pile number 4, you have can you hear me? Wow, okay. Interesting. Okay, let me try to zoom in. All right, so this is for those of you who would like to choose with oracle cards as well as crystals. So you have pile number 1 is this card right here, or the black onyx crystal. Pile number 2 is this card right here, or the amethyst crystal. Pile number 3 is this card right here, and or the ruby zoisite crystal. Pile number 4 is this card right here, and or this smoky quartz crystal. So you can pause the video if you need to, take as much time as you need, meditate upon the questions. My recommendation once again is that you close your eyes for a few moments, take some deep breaths, try to exhale longer than you inhale. That will help calm you down. While keeping your eyes closed and meditating upon the question, you can ask the question, what messages do my ancestors have for me about the next chapter of my life? Or you can focus on a particular person that you know who has passed away and ask, what does that person want to tell me about the next chapter in my life? Whatever feels comfortable for you. And then you can open your eyes once you have meditated upon the question and just choose the first pile that stands out to you, either the stone or the crystal. Try not to overanalyze. So either the crystal or the card, I mean. And of course, if you feel drawn to more than one pile, you can listen to several or even all of them and see which one resonates the most. Thank you. I will see you at your reading. So I have re-recorded this again because the lighting was too strong and I think the cards were not showing properly. So once again, for those of you who would like to choose with both card and crystal, you have to choose between these 4 options. So pile number 1 is this card over here, or this black onyx crystal. Pile number 2 is this card over here, and this amethyst crystal. I don't know if it's like focusing. Okay. Pile number 3 is this card over here with this image, or this crystal, which is the ruby zoisite. Pile number 4 is this card over here, or this smoky quartz crystal. So you can pause the video if you need to, and once again, my recommendations to choose the right pile for you are that you take some moments to breathe deeply, try to exhale longer than you inhale in order to calm yourself down while meditating upon the question, what message do my ancestors want to tell me about the next chapter of my life? And for those of you who have a particular person that has been dear to you and has passed away, of course you can think about that person and ask, what did they want to tell you about the next chapter of your life? And if you so you should meditate upon the question a little bit, take some deep breaths, relax, and then open your eyes and choose the first pile that stands out to you. And if you feel drawn to more than one pile, you can listen to several or even all of them and see which one resonates. That's probably going to be the one that has messages for you. I will see you at your reading. Welcome, pile number 1. This is your reading if you have chosen this black onyx crystal and or this card over here that says transformation. I'm going to read the description for the oracle cards after I select everything that I have to select. Okay. So let me select some oracle cards. Once again, this is going to be the shuffling / card selection, so you can skip this if you don't want to sit through it because I'm going to be taking my time. Spirit, what can you tell me about pile number 1? A message from their ancestors with respect to the next chapter in their lives. What is the next chapter in their lives going to bring, Spirit? Who are they going to become? Who is pile number 1 going to become in the next chapter of their lives? Who is pile number 1 going to become in the next chapter of their lives? Who is the next chapter? Who is pile number 1 going to become? What is a message from their ancestors? I'm feeling drawn to all of these. All right. And let me select some more cards. Spirit, what can you tell me about pile number 1? A message from their ancestors. Who is pile number 1 going to become in the next chapter of their lives? What is the next chapter of their lives going to bring? What is it going to be about? Tell me, what messages do their ancestors want to send? The people who chose the black onyx crystal. No. The people who chose the black onyx crystal, what is their next chapter? The next chapter in their lives. What messages do their ancestors want to send about the next chapter of their lives? Okay. Okay, so you have challenges. Unbearable situations throw you directly into God's arms if you are open. Please take over, divine, and guide the right actions. Please take this burden and show me your will. Okay. I think I'm going to stick it here. Okay. Feelings. Emotions want to be felt. You really can't surrender something until you deeply feel it. Allow me, dear divine, to offer all emotions to you, feeling them fully so they no longer hold me captive. Interesting. And you have Polar Bear Mystic. Know that challenges make you stronger. Have faith when you face adversity. Take time to rest, dream, and renew your strength. Embrace your psychic abilities. You carry the shaman within. orca, whale, adventure, dare to do things differently, sing your wild song, manifest your travel dreams, attempt the great journey with confidence, be loyal, friends and family are your treasures, be brave, you are more powerful than you know. Okay. And owl magic, choose to know the truth because you can, open your inner vision, you can see through deception, let the past go and make room for a better life. Rise up, magic and wisdom are your birthright. All right, and now I'm going to read the description for this card from the booklet, number 26, Transformation. Process identity, seek answers. A woman is dressed in a red polka dot dress. The upper part has already begun the process of transforming into a butterfly. With her hand, she touches her chest. Is the butterfly a part of her body? Is it a symbol of her soul? Is the woman transforming into a new life? This card leaves us with more questions than answers. Maybe you will find answers by thinking about how you would respond to these questions. Am I the person I would like to be? What can I do right now to transform some small part of myself? Wow, okay. I'm already getting like some pretty strong messages, but I'm going to refrain from saying anything until I see all the cards. Okay, so Spirit, what can you tell me about pile number 1? Pile number 1, what messages do their ancestors want to send? I'm feeling this one as well. Spirit, what messages do pile number 1's ancestors? I'm not going to choose all of these, Spirit. Too many. Spirit, what messages does pile number 1's ancestors want to send about the next chapter of their lives? What will the next chapter of their lives be about? What will it bring? What changes? What challenges? Tell me, Spirit. What messages do pile number 1's ancestors want to send about the next chapter of their lives? Tell me, Spirit. All right, so we have the Ace of Swords, the King of Wands, the Eight of Wands. This one, I think, is the Fool or the Hierophant. I'm not even sure. I think it's the Hierophant. I gotta check the booklet. Hold on. I gotta check the booklet for this one. No, it's the Hierophant. Okay, this is the Hierophant. Then you have the Six of Wands and the Three of Cups. The Three of Cups. Okay, I'm gonna get some more cards. Spirit, what message do you have for pile number 1? What messages do their ancestors want to send them about the next chapter in their lives? What can you tell me about the next chapter in their lives, Spirit? What messages do their ancestors have about the next chapter in their lives? Pile number 1, the ones who chose the black onyx. The black onyx crystal. Tell me. No, this one, not feeling it. What can you tell me about pile number 1 and the next chapter in their lives? Tell me, Spirit. This one. This one. This one. What can you tell me about pile number 1? What messages do their ancestors want to send them about the next chapter in their lives? Tell me, Spirit. Tell me. This one feels right. Okay. So you have the King of Wands again. The Wheel of Fortune. The Star. The Fool. The Page of Swords. The Ten of Wands. All right, so hopefully you can see the cards. This is as much as I can do. All right, so with the King of Wands here, I mean, there are definitely some really strong messages that you are manifesting something. The King of Wands is the only card that came out twice. But, I mean, look at this. A lot of the message here is that you will start the next chapter of your life with full force. So you're looking at a transformational period. You're going to basically figure out who you are. And I know that, well, maybe some of you are going to feel offended by this. You're going to be like, well, I know who I am. Yeah, but you're pretty much going to, how should I put it, maybe rediscover who you are, okay? You're going to be facing some situations that force you to redefine yourself and what you find important in life. So Spirit is giving you pretty much a heads up here that you're looking at a period that is going to be challenging and transformational. I'm feeling a lot of 8th house energy here for those of you who come from astrology backgrounds. But the message overall is that you are manifesting. Look at this. You have this Owl Magic card and you have this Polar Bear Mystic card, both of which speak of your powers of manifestation. And then on top of that, you have the 8 of Wands and the Star and the King of Wands twice, and also the Ace of Swords. So there's definitely going to be some strong beginning. I'm feeling a strong change in mindset as well. You're going to see the world with different eyes. There's going to be some major change in the way that you think, your thought patterns, the way you approach things. With the Fool, there's definitely like a reinforcement of the fact that you are starting a new chapter, and also this card with transformation. You are becoming someone else. So with the Star, this shows that in the next chapter of your life, you will get more recognition, more people looking up to you, people admiring you. You know, for those of you who have been working towards something for a long time, this is definitely a time where you're going to be, you know, getting the accolades. You're going to be reaping the rewards of your hard work. I'm getting a lot of Saturn Scorpio energy from, like, I think many of you probably have that energy. I'm getting a person who has worked at something for a long time. There's going to be ups and downs, but ultimately there will also be recognition. Recognition of your efforts, you might be looking at positions of leadership. I'm definitely feeling like, you know, people will look up to you. You're going to be even placed in positions of leadership. Some of you, if you've been thinking about becoming teachers, you're particularly favored. You know, but I'm definitely getting this, like, with the star card, like, for many of you, this could be about having, you know, social media following, having an increase of social media following if you have some kind of a platform. Maybe if you're thinking about starting a platform, this is a confirmation that it's going to eventually turn into something positive. The Six of Wands shows victory. I definitely feel like you are pretty tired because you've been working hard at something. Like, maybe you have been working hard at a lot of things that did not turn out the way you had planned, or like they didn't give you as many rewards as you would have liked. With the Hierophant, it's interesting. So I think that for some of you, this could mean marriage with the Hierophant. But it can also be, so it could also be marriage, and at the same time it can also reinforce the theme that you're going to have potentially a higher following, you know, like, or you're going to be placed in some kind of a position of leadership, or a teacher, you know, public speaker, somewhere where people listen to you. I mean, look at the symmetry here between these two cards, like the way that this person is walking and the way this guy is like walking, looking up. So I'm feeling like the next chapter of your life is going to be renewed energy, renewed enthusiasm. But there is a kind of a warning that you shouldn't be hyper optimistic, also because of what you have here, feelings and challenges. And it's really interesting with the King of Wands coming out twice and this card, transformation. Spirit is telling you that in this next chapter of your life, you are going to have to confront your feelings, especially if there has been something that you have been trying to run away from for a long time. And again, this could be many things for different people. So it could be, for some of you, maybe being stuck in a life path that you don't like, maybe being in a career path that you don't like, that does not really fulfill you, that is not in line with your higher purpose, or like what you really find fulfilling on a personal level. So, or it could be running away from past traumas that are maybe still influencing you without realizing it. Or it could be, again, being stuck in a relationship. So it could be different things, you know, for different people. But there is definitely a message that some of you, maybe even the majority of you, have been running away from your feelings. You know, like this card says, emotions want to be felt. You really cannot surrender something until you deeply feel it. Allow me, dear divine, to offer all emotions to you, feeling them fully so they no longer hold me captive. So there's definitely a message here that you have been acting maybe from a place of past emotional turmoil and trauma. You're definitely looking at the next chapter. The next chapter is going to have a lot of ups and downs. Look at this. There is a reinforcement of this theme. The Wheel of Fortune, the challenges. But with these cards here, especially the ones that speak of manifestation, I think I think the message is that what you need to focus on is keeping your eyes on the prize. You know, even though, you know, there will be obstacles being thrown in your path and maybe sudden changes, you should never lose sight of what it is that you want to achieve. And that is going to help you. And I also feel here, actually, now that I think about it, with the Hierophant, the Star, and the Fool, and the Eight of Wands, the message is here that I think religion for many of you, or like faith, is going to help you pull through. I think there's like a message, don't lose sight of the fact that there is a higher plan. Don't allow yourself to be too influenced by worldly things. There's like a message, look at the big picture. But at the same time, I think there's also kind of a slight warning that you shouldn't be hyper optimistic and that you shouldn't be impulsive and throw yourself headfirst into things. You see how this guy is like about to walk off a cliff and doesn't even care? So there is that message that you shouldn't be reckless and take unnecessary risks. Also with the Six of Wands, there's a message that, as you go along, even though maybe you have a long-term vision, a long-term plan, you need to celebrate every milestone. You need to be grateful, have an attitude of gratitude, Always focus on what it is that you love the most instead of focusing on what you don't have. Like, focus on what you appreciate, what you love, and that is pretty much, what's going to help you manifest more of what it is that you enjoy in your life. I can't help noticing that there is like a repeating number here of 8 and 10, which again kind of reinforces on the cards, and which reinforces to me that this is a very strong Scorpio, Saturn vibe. So maybe you have Capricorn, Scorpio, maybe you have a strong Mars, strong Saturn energy. But this also shows a reinforcement of, yes, you will come across challenges, you will deal with challenges, but out of it you will get a stronger sense of confidence, a stronger sense of identity. So I feel there's like a message that you should embrace these challenges, face them head on. Don't try to run away, even if it makes you uncomfortable. I think that's also about what the feelings card says. Yeah, I feel like for many of you, you have been stuck in a comfort zone for a long time. I think that's a strong message for some of you, maybe most of you. You're looking at a renewal of, I think it's like you have been able to maybe escape things up until this point, like uncomfortable feelings or being stuck in a rut. Maybe you have kept yourself busy on purpose to avoid answering the big questions of life, like what do I really want to achieve, or, what would really make me happy and purposeful. There's also a message of that is repeated, not to alienate people. Do not alienate the people who want to, who really care about you and are in your tribe, so to speak. I feel like, again, there is kind of a warning that you might tend to push people away. You might have a tendency to want to do everything on your own. I'm looking at these cards especially, which are so telling. It's so beautifully expressed here. You have the Three of Cups, and underneath you have the Ten of Wands. And you also have this like Orca adventure card that says, friends and family are your treasures. Attempt a great journey with confidence. Be loyal. Friends and family are your treasures. So I feel like there's a message that, remember that you're not alone. And, don't alienate people with your attitude of, I have to do everything myself. Or by becoming hyper-focused on, what it is you want to achieve to the point where you neglect your friends and family. This is also a message of like, don't forget to enjoy life. Again, both of these kind of show this, I feel like the Six of Wands is more showing about family, and the Three of Cups is more about friendships. So I feel like there's a message, don't forget to also enjoy life, to spend time with the people you love, you know, live in the moment as well, not just, you know, being all about what it is you want to achieve. There's going to be some kind of like new ideas coming up. Definitely a lot of intellectual energy, a lot of, I also feel like communication is going to be very important, and you somehow becoming center stage, like I said. So somehow you're going to be placed in a position where you are a guide. I think for some of you, the transformation that is being referenced also has to do with like a glow up, quote unquote, with respect to your body, your health. I think that the spirit is telling you that this next chapter of your life is about taking care of yourself physically, you know, not just with respect to what you look, but your health. You know, also I feel like there's a message, you know, spend time in nature, take care of yourself, don't over exert yourself, don't take on more than, you know, don't bite more than you can chew, that kind of thing. Don't take on more than you can handle, basically. Rome wasn't built in a day, that kind of thing. Community is going to be, like I said, so community, friends, and family are going to be really important, and you want to keep them by your side. So yeah, this is pretty much what I can see from the card. So I'm gonna get some messages now from my astrological notes. Spirit, what can you tell me about pile number 1 and the next chapter in their lives? What is the message from their ancestors? What are they going to be focused on? Who are they becoming, Spirit? Who are they becoming in this next chapter of their lives? Who are they becoming? Alright, so I have 4. And then I also want to get some other messages. Spirit, what can you tell me, okay, about pile number 1? Who are they becoming in this next chapter of their lives? Okay, that's enough. So let's see. 6th house. 6th house is about health. So there's kind of like a 11th house, friends and siblings, especially older siblings and acquaintances. Okay. 10th house, career, like I said. It's also about, you know, social status and being center stage. 7th house, this could be marriage, like I said. It's a confirmation of the Hierophant. 3rd house, siblings, younger siblings. 1st house, like I said, wow, okay. I feel like there are confirmations here. So let me get some more. Pisces, interesting because you have the orca whale. Jupiter, which governs Pisces, which is a stronger confirmation. Ketu, okay, spirituality. I think faith is strong for you. Mercury, communication. Okay, so what do I see here? I see a bunch of confirmations of what I said already in the cards. So 7th house is a confirmation of the Hierophant. So I think for some of you, this could be about marriage. You're going to get married. For some of you, it could just be the 7th house is also about an audience. The 7th and 11th houses are about reaching out to large groups of people, connecting with large groups of people. So it could be, and also the 3rd house is communication, willpower, you know, so I'm feeling like your willpower is going to be tested, definitely. 10th house is about your social status and, you know, your responsibility and your career, responsibility towards the world, as in karma. So there are confirmations about many things. The 1st and the 6th house together. 1st house is the house of the physical body. And the 6th house is about health, and it's also about service and pets to some extent. But I think this is a confirmation of what I said, that for some of you, the next chapter is going to involve a glow up. And I think there's also like a nudge here to focus on your health, taking care of your health. spending time with friends, with family, with relationships. So you have all of the air houses here, the 3rd, the 11th, the 7th. So there's definitely like a message you need to not neglect the relationships in your life, the people that are close to you. This involves, you know, I'm feeling here, actually, this is almost everyone except the family of origin, which does not mean that you should neglect the family of origin, but the main messages here are about your siblings, extended family maybe, but also about friends, acquaintances, and your spouse and / business partner, okay? So these are the main people that are going to support you in your next chapter and that you should keep as close as possible. The 10th house also shows recognition, okay? So you're going to reach some kind of a higher level in your career in this next chapter. And like an 11th house also is the house of gains or something. So it's like you're going to, gains means monetary, okay? So I think most likely this is connected to your career. You're going to have an increase in social status in your job / career. This could be for some of you about business, and for some of you it could be about a job. Of course, there is no like specific message whether it's job or business. Or it could be both, of course. It could be some of you have a job and a side hustle or something like that. There's going to be a focus on competition as well, which explains why this card with challenges came out. Competition, you know, efforts will be required. And I feel efforts with respect to especially the career and also your physical body and also like the way you present yourself. The first house actually, again, is kind of a confirmation of the Star card. Like somehow you're going to be center stage. Somehow people are going to look at you, like the way you look, your physical appearance. And with Ketu, Pisces, and Jupiter, faith, like I said, is going to play a very strong factor in the next chapter of your life. So, I mean, see how this resonates. Like maybe for some of you, this is like something you know, like you may know exactly what I'm talking about. Maybe you're I don't know, and this could be faith. You know, again, this could be for some people, it could be religion, it could be an organized religion, but I think for most of you it's not an organized religion. It's something like spirituality, esoteric practices with a Ketu energy there. It could also be theoretical subjects, like some of you could be into philosophy, higher studies, education, and it's definitely these themes are going to be further emphasized in the next chapter of your life. You're going to have to study a lot. You're going to have to expand your horizons a lot. You're going to use your powers of communication in every form. So you know, written, this could be speech, singing, or written communication. I think for some of you, this is about travel as well. Like you could be looking at traveling in this next chapter of your life. A lot of travel, maybe more than in the previous phase of your life. About learning new skills. And it's also, like I said, I think renewed faith, renewed energy in life, optimism. This is what I see. This is like your calling. This is what you're going to be focusing on for the most part in this next chapter of your life. So yeah, this has been pretty much it. And I hope you have enjoyed it, pile number 1, because I definitely found it interesting. And if you have, please comment in the comment section with what resonated, what didn't resonate, what you liked, what you didn't like. Of course, also, if you're interested in a personal consultation, I do consultations in tarot, also in astrology. If you're interested in astrology, maybe check out my channel that I will link in the video description. And aside from that, also, please, if you like this video and if you have found value in any of my videos, please subscribe and hit the like button. And also hit the notifications bell to see when I will post a new video. Thank you. Hello, pile number 2. This is your reading if you have chosen this amethyst crystal and or this oracle card that says Elixir of Life. I will be reading the descriptions for this after I select all the cards. So this is going to be the shuffling / card selection process, and I'm going to add timestamps so you can skip to the reading because I will be taking my time doing this. Okay, so let me see. Spirit, what messages do you have for pile number 2, the people who chose the amethyst crystal? What messages do you have for them from their ancestors? What do their ancestors want to tell them about the next chapter of their lives? I'm not going to choose all of these. Okay, what do their ancestors want to tell them about the next chapter of their lives? What do pile number 2's ancestors want to tell them about the next chapter of their lives? Spirit, help me out. Spirit, what does pile number 2's ancestors want to tell them about the next chapter of their lives? I'm getting this one. Spirit, what do pile number 2's ancestors want to tell them about the next chapter of their lives? Who are they becoming? What will they focus on? What is waiting for them in the next chapter of their lives? Help me out, Spirit. Pile number 2, who chose the amethyst. What do they have to hear from their ancestors, Spirit? I'm getting strongly that I should pick 3. Okay, so you have spaciousness. What do I no longer need? Help me, God, to release whatever people, places, or things drain my vital essence. Show me what will fill me with enthusiasm and joy. Interesting. Work. I'm now available to receive all who can benefit from my work. Use me to relieve suffering on the planet. May all who need me find me. The divine is my complete source for all prosperity and will provide. Wow. I'm getting some strong messages already. Doubt. Offering all to the divine doesn't mean negativity never arises, but you can say, free me from this prison of doubt. I cast this burden to you. Show me your will and restore me to faith and confidence. Very interesting. Okay, so let's see here. Elephant, greatness. Love is your strength. Leadership is your path. Your wisdom inspires everyone you meet. You can overcome any problem. You will naturally and easily achieve success. Humpback whale, singer. Sing healing songs for the world. Your inner navigation always guides you. Nothing can stop you or keep you from your goal. Align with your purpose and the power in your soul. Be community. You are a powerful creator. Your work blesses everything you touch. Be open to receiving sweetness. You are the queen of abundance. Very nice. Okay, now I'm going to read the description for this Elixir of Life card from the booklet. So, healing, consolidation, reinvigoration, truth. A woman is leaning towards a deep red rose. She faces the flower with her eyes closed, concentrating on the lush bloom. She is receiving the sweet scent of nature and the energy of life. The wind rustles her hair, whispering the truths of the universe into her ears. She can hear her own breath mingling with the wind. Sitting quietly in nature by a stream or in a garden can help still your wandering mind and heal a troubled heart. I'm already getting a really strong sense of what the message is, but I'm gonna wait till the cards are chosen. So, Spirit, what messages do you have for pile number 2 from their ancestors? What do their ancestors want to tell them? Pile number 2, about the next chapter of their lives. What is the next chapter of their life? Spirit, what does pile number 2's next chapter of life bring? What messages does... Okay. What messages do their ancestors have for pile number 2 about the next chapter of their life? What messages can you give for pile number 2 from their ancestors about the next chapter in their life? All right, so let's see. 9 of Cups. Nice. The 4 of Cups. This is, I think, the Temperance, but I should check just in case. Let me see. Yeah, it's the Temperance. And the Knight of Wands. The 5 of Wands. Death. Wow. Okay. Let me see. Spirit, what messages do you have for pile number 2, the people who chose the amethyst crystal? What messages do you have from their ancestors or a loved one who has passed? Whatever they are thinking of, what messages do you have for pile number 2, the people who chose the amethyst, about the next chapter in their lives? What can you tell me, Spirit? What do you have to tell them? What do you have to tell them about the next chapter of their lives, Spirit? What can you tell me about pile number 2, the people who chose the amethyst? Tell me, Spirit, what message? What message do they have? What message do you have for pile number 2, the people who chose the amethyst crystal? Okay, these... No, I'm not going to choose them. I'm going to shuffle again. Okay. Spirit, what can you tell me about pile number 2? What messages do they have from their ancestors about the next chapter in their lives? All right, so we have Judgment. Temperance again. The 7 of Wands. The 3 of Pentacles. The 10 of Wands. The Sun. Wow, the Sun is a confirmation of what I was gonna say already. Like, let me see if I can push this a little bit further so I can show you the cards. Okay. Okay. So the first message that I'm getting here is... I'm feeling like you are someone who is quite insecure. in the sense that you're not confident in your abilities, or you have a lot of things that you really, really want to do, or you dream about doing things, but you're afraid. You're afraid of failure. You're afraid that you don't have it in you. And I'm feeling like, and this is gonna be a little bit out on a limb here, might be connected to some wound around the father figure in your life. Like your father did not really support you or criticized you too much, did not embrace your individuality. And because of that, you were left with a lot of insecurities. Even though you may have achieved some things up until this point, you know, even socially acceptable things or social forms of success, I feel like you are struggling. I'm feeling like you're someone who maybe you have listened to other people, or you have put your sense of duty and responsibility, again, mostly towards other people, above your own desires to express yourself creatively. I think that you're probably very talented. I would not be surprised. I don't know if I'm going to see some Leo here when I choose the astrological notes, but I think the sun is somehow prominent in your chart, but I don't know if it's like Leo placements. I'm feeling here like, for those of you who are coming from astrology, I'm feeling like some of you might have like a debilitated sun. Like somehow the sun is important in your makeup astrologically, but it's not in a healthy place. You know, either debilitated or afflicted. Because you have here the humpback whale with singer. Like some of you could literally be into singing. And look at this. It says elephant greatness. Love is your strength. Leadership is your path. This is like an enforcement of the sun card. You know, a confirmation of the sun card. So I feel like your ancestors here are telling you, you know, don't be afraid to step into your power. Don't be afraid to take center stage. You know, and again, I could be going off on a limb here, but I think it's like you are the kind of person that maybe had either like overbearing parent figures, especially a father figure that maybe just didn't like that you were getting attention. I'm feeling like maybe narcissistic father or something. And you know, didn't like the fact that you were getting attention, that you were center stage, and somehow maybe tried to dim your light, try to push you down. And here you have the moon as well. So like you're someone also who has a strong moon energy, I think, like very creative, very sensitive, you know, probably you're good at conveying strong emotions, I think. Sing healing songs for the world. Your inner navigation always guides you. I feel like this is an invitation from your ancestors to follow your intuition. You are a powerful creator. Your work blesses everything you touch. Be open to receiving sweetness. You are the queen of abundance. Yeah, I mean, there's a strong like repeating feeling here that you're someone who was forced by circumstance or by the people around you to, well, like many people, right? To prioritize security, right? And I think that, you know, in this chase for security financially, you have sacrificed too much of yourself and too much of your creativity and what makes you happy. This is also why you have this card here with work. I'm now available to receive all who can benefit from my work. This is like a message that, you know, almost kind of like your ancestors are telling you that you're barking up the wrong tree. You're trying to sell your stuff to the wrong audience. Basically the underlying message being that the problem is not you. The problem is that you are not around people that really appreciate your better qualities, you know. And this could be, I think, especially about your profession, about your path in life, what it is that you do for a living, and also maybe hobbies. Like maybe you're working at something that you really care about, and you're putting yourself out there, like maybe on social media, but you are not getting the recognition that you want. And I think that this is a message you might want to try somewhere else. You know, try selling your stuff to a different audience, one that really appreciates you. This is especially true for people who have some kind of a creative profession or creative hobby. Also about spaciousness here. What do I no longer need? Help me, God, to release whatever people, places, or things drain my vital essence. Yeah, this is like a invitation for you to become a minimalist, and in a like, but not necessarily materially. It's like, you know, travel light, you know, let go. And this is also why you have here the Death card, which speaks of transformation. You know, this is like you are shedding layers, you're shedding your skin right now. The next chapter of your life is about shedding your skin. It's about, you know, keeping what is the true you. And it's also about applying yourself diligently towards your professional life. And it's also about learning to communicate, focusing on communicating clearly, interacting better with the people at work. It's also like there's like a message here. I mean, look at this. This is really interesting. The imagery here with the temperance and this woman in the waves, and here you have a guy who, although is not in the waves, look like he's wrestling something like waves, you know. Very interesting. Ha. So, yeah, I feel like the message is that you're definitely too defensive. Okay, so I think this next chapter will leave you, like, this next chapter will find you, you know, being defensive. Being, also, this card came out with pile number 1 as well. So you are the kind of person that has been used to always being by yourself, especially when it comes to solving problems, when it comes to getting what you want. You're used to not asking for help. But I think there's like an invitation here that you should try to get out of your shell a little bit, learn to communicate, you know, learn to delegate as well. And again, this is true for those of you, of course, for whom it is relevant, like maybe you're a manager or you're working in a team. If you have been the kind of person where you took up other people's share of the responsibility because you felt, you know, like this is also getting me to the like wounded father image here. Like, I feel like maybe you were the kind of person who was taught that, or because you have insecurities, you feel like you have to overcompensate by working much harder, making yourself available to people who, you know, maybe take advantage of your helpfulness without giving you anything in return. You know, and look at this. This is so, like, interesting. 5 of Wands here. This person surrounded by wolves climbing a tree. The 5 of Wands and also the 10 of Wands here. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. I'm feeling like this is some kind of a pattern in your life that you need to work through. You know, you have had to deal with a lot of conflict. You've had to deal with, yeah, I feel like there's a strong message here to not allow people to push you around. This is also actually reinforced by the 4 of Cups. The 4 of Cups can be interpreted in a number of ways, but one of the ways that you can interpret it is the fact that you need to establish boundaries. You know, in the traditional Rider-Waite deck, the 4 of Cups is that young man that is sitting by a tree and a hand is offering him a cup and he is just shaking his head in disapproval. And to some extent, it can also be that you have options, but you are not into those options. And of course, this could be with respect to profession, love, anything in life. Like, basically, you're not taking advantage of the opportunities around you because you're not interested in them. But one way that I interpret it, especially with respect to relationships, is that you need to enforce boundaries. You need to learn to say no when someone offers you something, or when someone, makes you an offer, or expect something from you. So I'm feeling like, considering the rest of the cards, this is for many of you, this is a question of boundaries. Like, you allowed people to take advantage of you. This could be in a multitude of situations. Maybe this is like about your roommates or something. If you're sharing a house with someone, you know, like they're not doing their share of housework and you're doing it for everyone, and it's like, even though you're building up resentment and it's eating up your time and your energy, you don't feel like you're in a position to put your foot down and say that, hey, I don't want to do this anymore, you know? So I feel like there's definitely like this message here that you need to stand up for yourself. You need to be clear on what it is that you want and what you don't want, and just not be afraid to say no, and not be afraid to, you know, reject even opportunities because they're not in accordance with your higher self or what it is you want to achieve in the long term. The Nine of Cups, wow, and the Judgment. The Judgment actually is, again, a reinforcement of this. You need to become more discerning, and you will become more discerning. But the Judgment also has an additional meaning, also with the Death card. Wow, like this is about karma. Like, so the next chapter of your life is definitely going to have some kind of a strong you know, karmic implication or dharmic implication. Of course, it doesn't mean that it's going to be like bad, but you need to be careful about your dealings. Make sure that you are fair in everything, because I feel like there's a message here that you might come across like difficult situations because of something to do with your past life dealings. And of course, conversely, it could also be that you're going to get positive situations because of your past life dealings, or because you are clearing out karma from past lives. The Temperance card is interesting. It came out twice. So there's a message here about you needing to find a middle ground. So I think, again, depending on the situation, because there are so many messages here about talking and communication and other people, and the Five of Wands also has to deal with potentially people of conflicting opinions of, you know, so this could, like, for some of you, this could be about naysayers, you know, learning how to become more thick-skinned and not caring so much about what other people think or bark around you, literally, like these wolves are barking, you know. I think for some of you that could be a thing, but it could also be, you know, you are going to have to deal with people that come from very different backgrounds, or, you know, people that just have a very different view of life, different values, opinions, principles, and you need to learn to put yourself in other people's shoes as well. So to try to understand them, and that's going to help you communicate properly with them, communicate your ideas, and avoid conflict as much as possible. The next chapter, yes, definitely a strong transformation. Wow, look at this. It's not just going to be a transformation, it's going to be a resurrection. I mean, look at this. You have the Death card, and underneath there's the Sun. It's like you're, you know, I'm going to be accused of blasphemy, but I was thinking about Jesus. So yeah, scratch that. I'm not going to say that because I'm going to be accused of blasphemy. But there's like, yeah, there's something like you're going to have, I think the next chapter is about building your confidence and building your confidence, sense of identity, you know, energy subsequently, but also your creativity and your faith in your creativity. I think you're a person who has a strong creative ability, but you're very insecure about, you know, maybe you're insecure about putting yourself out there. And this could even be at work, like you're afraid to, maybe you're the kind of person who is like even afraid to take on a promotion or a position with more responsibility because you're afraid that you're not going to make it, or you're going to fail, or somehow you're like, I think that there's something, you know, like I said, some wound connected to the father figure, like for a lot of you. With the Temperance card, like I was going to say, it's about, I think for some of you, about you becoming a mediator, becoming a negotiator. This is also about leader. Like, where was I? Yeah. This Elephant card that says you're a born leader. Love is your strength. Leadership is your path. Your wisdom inspires everyone you meet. You can overcome any problem. You will naturally and easily achieve success. So there's like this encouragement that is coming from your ancestors, you know, stop doubting yourself so much. And here you have doubt as well, you know, like you are thinking too much. So like, I feel like basically the overall message is like the slogan for Nike, just do it. You know, don't be afraid of failure. Don't be afraid of people criticizing you. Just, you know, become passionate, follow your passion, your excitement and all that. Look at this. You also have the King of Wands with passion, right? So this is like, look at this image, really cool. You know, so it's like, yeah, you becoming more passionate, more confident in this next chapter of your life. And also more purposeful. There will be hard work, no doubt, but there are also going to be some really great results and sweet fruits waiting for you. The Nine of Cups to me is about self-love. I know it sounds cheesy, but like it's about self-love, getting in touch with your intuition, your creativity, you know, learning to fill your own cup, literally. But it's also about abundance. So I think you will be entering a more abundant cycle in this next chapter. You're going to be, for some of you, you're going to be placed in a position where you are a good, you know, you're somehow a mediator, a negotiator. So this could be managerial positions, maybe a therapist, you know. You're going to have to deal with people from different backgrounds, people who are different than you are. And the communication skills you have, your creativity and your empathy will become very important, as well as your leadership ability. But it also shows that for some of you, it's your next chapter of life is about blending different things. It's about finding a balance. And I think the balance here is between maybe, you know, your individuality and other people's expectations. And when I say other people, I don't mean people who mistreat you, maybe, because you don't owe those people anything. But I mean society in general, right? So like finding your niche, basically finding that place where you are fulfilled as an individual, but you can also make a living, right? Or you're also fulfilling a need in society. Learning to balance out, learning to blend things that other people would never blend. I think this is like the message, that you're going to somehow, you know, be a bridge between two different maybe professions, or it could be anything, but I'm definitely getting mostly this is about professions. This is about, you know, your path in life. So I'm not feeling much about romance here, but I'll see what the astrological indicators say. So okay, I'm gonna get to the astrological indicators, but this is mostly about creativity, I feel, and confidence. Spirit, what can you tell me about pile number 2, the people who chose the amethyst? What can you tell me about them? What messages do they have from their ancestors? Tell me, Spirit. What messages do you have from pile number 2? What? Oh, come on. Too many. Okay, I'm gonna choose again. This one really came out, but the rest of them. Spirit, what can you tell me about pile number 2? What message do they have from their ancestors? Okay, this wanted to come out. There are 2 of them. Okay. Spirit, what message do you have from their ancestors for pile number 2? I'm getting, yeah, these. Spirit, what can you tell me about pile number 2? What is the next chapter in their lives? What messages do they have from their ancestors? What is the next chapter in their lives, Spirit? What is the next chapter in their lives, Spirit? What is a message from their ancestors? Tell me, Spirit. What is a message from their ancestors? Do we have enough? No. What is a message from their ancestors? Okay. So, 9th house. 6th house, 10th house, 5th house, bingo. That's a creativity. That's a reinforcement of the Sun card. 3rd house, this is about communication and willpower. 10th house again. So wow, 10th house, you're definitely going to be focused on career here. Like career is going to be the main focus of the next chapter of your life. Okay. Leo. Told you, this is like a confirmation of the Sun energy, right? Definitely strong focus here. Taurus. Virgo. Saturn. Right. And Gemini. Virgo, so you have a lot of Mercury energy, but you definitely have a confirmation of what I said about creativity with the 5th house and Leo here. That's, both of those are basically connected to the Sun. So this is like a confirmation of the Sun card here. Yeah, this next chapter of your life is about building confidence. It is about focusing on your creativity and your true self. Also, not being afraid to step out in the limelight, to take on a leadership position, creativity. And also Taurus is connected to singing. So I think for some of you, this is definitely something to do with singing, you know, with the voice. Taurus is also ruled by Venus, so it's about artistic abilities in general. With Gemini, Virgo, this could be about communication. So again, a reinforcement. Also the 3rd house, there's a reinforcement of what I said, that communication is going to be really important for you. Dealing with people, also being of service because of Virgo and the 6th house. And with the 9th house, this is interesting. So this is going to be also potentially, there's going to be some travel involved in the next chapter of your life. Also expanding your knowledge, expanding your horizons. Could be about, of course, higher education, like formal education. But definitely the main emphasis here is on your work, on your career trajectory. This is about you figuring out your niche and what it is you want to do with your life, I think. It's also about responsibility. So it's like you're going to feel, whether you want it or not, actually, I feel like you're going to be pushed towards focusing on your career. It's going to be a main focus of your life. And the 10 of Wands, so Saturn, I feel here is, you know, a confirmation of many cards, like the 7 of Wands, the 3 of Pentacles, the 10 of Wands. So the message here is that, you know, like I said, Rome wasn't built in a day. So it's like you're going to take some time to reach the level that you want to reach, to have the confidence you want, to find your niche, to be fully successful and happy the way you want to be. But you have to persevere. And also Saturn, I feel, is a confirmation of the Death card and the Judgment card, because Saturn is about karma. So it's like, you know, if you are coming across challenges and setbacks, remember, you know, don't lose your faith, don't lose your patience. This is just about testing you. It's about testing your endurance, about how thorough you are. Remember that, you know, Saturn, if Saturn throws you setbacks, it's only because he wants you to do everything to your best ability, right? To do things right, to be thorough. So if you fail, always look at failure as a learning experience, not as some kind of a final verdict. And I definitely think that for some of you, you really need to hear that. I think like some of you have some kind of a fear of failure. And again, Saturn actually is like the sort of a shadow side of the father figure, right? So the sun is the father figure, but Saturn is also kind of like the negative side of the father figure that shows restriction and discipline and authority figures and all that. So you could have some issues regarding that, some issues regarding authority figures, accepting authority, you know, and again, makes me think for some of you that this is about having some difficult situation with the father figure. 10th house also is ruled by father, so sorry, by Saturn, which is and the 10th house is also the house of the father in astrology. So there is something to do with that here. Like there's some kind of a karma going on, I think. But it's also about you healing yourself, healing your creative expression, your individuality, feeling like you have the freedom to be yourself. So I think it's like, you know, it's definitely going to be a strongly transformational period of you becoming in touch with your true self, your higher self, you know, the part of you that is expressive, and getting in touch with what it is that you want to do out of life and love yourself. Also, the 5th house is about love. So it's also about self-love. And that kind of like joyous creativity that comes from love and loving yourself, you know, like children do, you know, like, you know how children just do things because they love to do them without thinking about, you know, how much money it's gonna make them or what other people think. They just do things for fun. And that's like the energy here. You need to get in touch with that energy, I think, your inner child and all that. But at the same time, stay diligent and, you know, keep your eyes on the prize. Be disciplined and, you know, work step by step. Just take it step by step, you know. Yeah, so this is pretty much what I see in your reading, pile number 2. And I hope that you have found this interesting because I definitely have. And if you have found value in any of my readings, please do not forget to subscribe to my channel and also hit the like button if you like this video and click on the notifications bell to see when I will post a new video. And of course, if you're interested in a personal consultation, I do consultations on various topics in tarot, and if you're interested in finding out more about that, you can email me at the email in the video description. I can also send you sample readings and a pricing list and all kinds of other details, so go ahead and check that out if you're interested. Thank you. Hello, pile number 3. This is your reading if you have chosen this ruby and zoisite crystal and or this card that says lullaby, for which I will read the description after I select the rest of the oracle cards. So this is going to be the shuffling / card selection phase, and I'm going to add timestamps for you to skip it if you don't want to sit through it, because I will be taking my time. Spirit, what can you tell me about pile number 3, the people who chose the ruby zoisite crystal? What messages do they have from their ancestors about the next chapter of their lives? What is the next chapter of their lives going to be? Yeah, that's too many. Spirit, what can you tell me about pile number 3, the people who chose the ruby zoisite crystal? What do their ancestors have to say about the next chapter in their lives? What do their ancestors have to tell them about the next chapter in their lives? Help me out. What do they have to say about the next chapter in their lives? Spirit, what can you tell me about pile number 3, the people who chose the ruby zoisite crystal? What can you tell me about the next chapter in their lives? What do their ancestors have to tell them about the next chapter of their lives? Help me out, Spirit. What does pile number 3 need to hear from their ancestors? What does pile number 3 need to hear from their ancestors? Anything else? Anything else, Spirit? What do they need to hear from their ancestors? Great, one of them fell down. Never mind. Contentment. You can learn to rest in what you already have and already are. Suddenly you remember, I'm right here resting in God. Okay. Aging. I am one with unlimited love. Beyond all seeming restrictions of age, I am filled with joy, energy, and beauty. A vessel for the divine Shakti. Being enough. The innermost heart says, you are enough. Nowhere to go, nothing to get, nothing to change, no need to grow more deserving. Yes, you are love. Peacock. Vibrancy. You were born to shine and inspire. Practice humility to avoid jealousy. Be grateful for life and more good things will come. Be true to yourself and recognize your brilliance. Ram, perseverance. You have many gifts. No problem can withstand the power of your mind. With patience, you can reach your mountaintop. Never give up and good luck will follow. Polar bear, mystic. Know that challenges make you stronger. Have faith when you face adversity. Take time to rest, dream, and renew your strength. Embrace your psychic abilities. You carry the shaman within. Wow. Okay, and now I'm going to read the description for this card that says Lullaby, number 38. Restoration, dreams, rhythms, lullaby. As dusk arrives, we notice a cello player about to play a lullaby to welcome the sleep we need so dearly. The cycles of day and night, light and dark, orchestrate our natural sleep rhythms. We give so much during the day. Night is our time to recover. On his instrument, we can see the moon and stars. They are the guardians of our dreams tonight. Rest with nature's lullaby blowing gently through the window. Tomorrow, wake to all the days of your life. Okay, that's what the description says. Very interesting. Okay, I have some ideas already, but I'm gonna shut up until I get all the cards. Spirit, what can you tell me about pile number 3? What messages do they have from their ancestors about the next chapter in their lives? What can you tell me about pile number 3? What messages do their ancestors have to tell them about the next chapter in their lives? The people who chose the ruby zoisite crystal, what can you tell me, Spirit, about the next chapter in their lives? What can you tell me about pile number 3? What messages do they have from their ancestors about the next chapter in their lives? What messages do they have, Spirit? What messages can you give me for pile number 3 from their ancestors? What awaits for them? Tell me, Spirit. What can you tell me about pile number 3's next chapter of life? What awaits from them? What messages do you have from their ancestors, Spirit? What messages do you have from their ancestors? What messages you have from their ancestors, Spirit, about the next chapter in their lives? I'm getting a strong urge to get 2 of these. Alright, so let me see. You have the Tower. Okay. The Queen of Swords. Oh, the 5 of Wands. The 3 of Cups. The 7 of Cups. The 6 of Pentacles. The Empress. Okay. Let me see. Spirit, what can you tell me about pile number 3? What messages do they have from their ancestors about the next chapter of their lives? What is the next chapter of their lives going to be like, Spirit? No, not getting this one. This one. Spirit, what is the next chapter of their lives going to be about? The people who chose the ruby zoisite. The people who chose the ruby zoisite. What is the next chapter of their lives going to be like? What is the next chapter of their lives going to be like, Spirit? Tell me. Pile number 3, the people who chose the ruby zoisite crystal. What is the next chapter of their life going to be about? Oh, come on. Okay, this one fell out. Spirit, what is the next chapter of pile number 3's life? What can you tell me? Okay. The Queen of Pentacles. The 7 of Cups again. Wow, okay. the Three of Pentacles, the Seven of Pentacles, no, the Eight of Pentacles, the Knight of Wands. If you felt drawn to pile number 2, definitely check it out. The Four of Pentacles, the High Priestess. Okay, so what I was gonna say about being enough, aging, contentment. There's a strong message here, and also lullaby. At the Tower, wow. There's a strong message here that you should give up being hyper controlling. I feel like you're the kind of person that overanalyzes, tries to be in control of anything. But I think the next chapter of your life is about you learning to accept that some things are beyond your control. You know, learning to let go. And I think, you know, relying on the sense of faith, yes, in a higher power, also because of the High Priestess as well. It's kind of a confirmation. But I think for a lot of you, this is also about learning to receive, learning to be in your feminine energy. I think this is especially true for women, but of course it doesn't have to be just women. It could be, you know, people who are more masculine as well. It is a message that, you know, you should learn to rest in your feminine energy as well. You know, and not be constantly trying to control the outcome of everything, and, you know, constantly doing, or focusing entirely on rationality, but rather being more intuitive, being more diplomatic, you know, take a softer approach. I think it's like, especially for women who are in relationships, this is about like you learning to allow other people to do things for you, especially your romantic partner. So wow, like this is really interesting, because also because of all this conflicting energy, you have like the peacock, and then you have the ram, and you have the polar bear. So this is intuition, this is about drive, and this is about you just resting, you know, resting and waiting for people to come to you and admire you. And yeah, also it's really interesting, you have the peacock with vibrancy. You were born to shine and inspire. Practice humility to avoid jealousy. Be grateful for life, and more good things will come. Be true to yourself and recognize your brilliance. And then you have the Empress, which especially for women shows, you know, beauty and feminine allure. So I think it's like, you know, some of you, again, the next chapter of your life is going to be glowing up, but it's also about you relaxing and getting more in touch with your feminine side. For some of you, this could be maternity, marriage, you know, focusing on your feminine energy. Or if it's not about maternity, also getting in touch with that side. Of course, it doesn't necessarily mean, you know, you're going to be a mother in the traditional sense, especially since you have the Six of Pentacles here. This could actually be like you being kind of a teacher, you know, but being in this kind of like nurturing energy, you know, getting more in touch with your feminine side, also with your intuition, because you have the High Priestess. You kind of like becoming a healer. But it's also about you in this next chapter. You're definitely going to be seen as attractive, maybe more attractive than usual, and you might also attract some jealousy. And this is why, you know, this card says, you know, practice humility to avoid jealousy, right? So learn to be gracious and diplomatic, and, you know, if people are petty, let them look bad, you know, don't respond in a nasty way. But yeah, I definitely feel like there's a call towards diplomacy here and softness, but at the same time, it's like still, that doesn't mean being lazy, because it also shows that you have a lot of drive and you're hardworking. The Eight of Pentacles with the Three of Pentacles and and the Four of Pentacles here, like you are working towards security. You have a lot of pentacles, a lot of earth energy here, an earth mother sort of energy. So I wouldn't be surprised if you have some Taurus energy, despite, and also potentially some Aries. Like, I feel like you might have both a pretty strong masculine and also a pretty strong feminine energy. The moon as well, like, I mean, the moon is strong here. So it's like you could be very, have a very nurturing maternal side, but maybe you haven't been able to express it properly up until this point. So there's an encouragement, there's definitely a message from your ancestors that you need to appreciate what you have, that you need to stop being so controlling and just enjoy things, be in the moment. Stop trying to prove things. That's another thing, because you have this card here with being enough and contentment here. You know, you can learn to rest in what you already have and already are, right? So it's kind of like, I feel like for some of you, you might be too perfectionist, you know, working really hard to prove something, to show how worthy you are, you know, how capable you are. But I think it's like, the message here is that you already are enough and you already have, you know, value and the way that you are. You know, stop trying to prove something. And it's also interesting that you have the Seven of Cups twice. So this could be interpreted in several ways. Since you also have the Empress here and you have the Peacock energy here, the Seven of Cups can definitely show that you might have multiple partners vying, or not multiple partners, sorry. You might have multiple partners, of course. It shows that you can have multiple options, right? A lot of people that are kind of vying for your attention, you know. And look at this. I mean, look at this, right? Here you have this, I think she's, what is she, like a bride or something, I think. You know, and you have like all these people around her fussing over her. This is kind of like actually mirroring this Peacock energy here, you know. So I think it's like you're going to attract a lot of attention. So, you know, you could attract pettiness also here with this, the Five of Wands here, with this person who is on a tree and surrounded by wolves. I think this shows the pettiness and the potential naysayers and potential jealousy. So there's definitely an invitation. Be careful that, you know, just by, I think because of just your way of being, I think the image that you give across, you come across as someone who's very attractive, whether you realize it or not. And you, I think people have this image that you have it all together and you have everything. Also the Queen of Pentacles. So like, also, yeah, you're gonna get abundance, definitely. With the Queen of Pentacles and all of these pentacles, like, this shows that you have been working towards something. Or even if you haven't been working towards something, you're gonna get an idea in this next chapter of your life, and you're going to suddenly become much more diligent. You might have new opportunities with respect to finances. And I think a lot of people are going to become jealous of you. Okay, so for some of you, people are going to be jealous of you exclusively because of the way you look. But I think for most of you, it's going to be a combination of both. Like, you just, you know, you walk the walk and you talk the talk, you know. So it's like people are jealous, you know. They think you may have been doing things that are shady, or somehow they feel like you don't deserve your success or something. Maybe you are not the kind of person that talks about what you are working towards or what you're doing. So it's easy for people to spread gossip behind your back because you're not very straightforward, maybe, about your plans. You're not very transparent. So I think people may assume that you don't deserve the things that you have, but of course it's going to be erroneous because of look at all these cards, right? You have the Four of Pentacles. So I think like you're someone in this next chapter that, you know, finally, I think, see how this resonates for some of you. You probably already have been very conscientious, you know. You have been working towards something, a goal, a skill. Maybe you didn't have a particular goal in mind, but you have been working towards, you know, reaching a certain level in your profession, in your career, and learning, and, you know, yeah, reaching a certain level. And now you're going to be reaping the rewards. You're going to be getting more abundance, maybe a promotion, maybe a better job. For some of you, if you have a business, your business is going to get better. I think in this next chapter, you're also going to be called to be more generous. Look at this. You have the Six of Pentacles and the Four of Pentacles underneath. So there's like this message of don't hoard what you have. You know, I think there's like this tendency for you to cling to your possessions, maybe because of past insecurities or traumas connected to material abundance. But there's like this message that, you know, the more you give, the more you receive. And this is true quite literally about money, but I think there's also a message about you just becoming more generous in general. This is definitely for some of you who are maybe interested in teaching, that this is going to be a part of this next chapter. So you're going to be called to teach people that are less enlightened somehow. So this could be in a wide variety of ways. You know, you could be a public speaker. You could have, of course, a platform, a YouTube channel or whatever, where you are telling people maybe even about finances. But I think this could be about various things. You know, it's about guiding people that are in a lesser position, or it could be at work, right? You might be put in a position where you have to mentor others, and that is, you know, part of your responsibility. It's part of your, I guess, social karma, if you want to put it like that. And let me see. The Tower card is probably the most potentially problematic here. Interesting. Let me see. You have a lot of 7 here. You have a lot of 7. Okay, maybe not a lot, but more than average. So to me, 7 is the number 7. I mean, you know, you're very introverted. In this next phase, first of all, you're going to be definitely very intuitive. You might feel the need to isolate sometimes. There will be times where you feel alone. The Tower card here does not necessarily show a negative thing, because considering the rest of the cards, I'm not feeling that this is going to be something catastrophic. It's probably, since it's interesting that it starts with a Tower card, so I think maybe in the recent past, or not too long ago, you may have had some kind of a Tower moment where, you know, something happened. You know, maybe you lost your job, maybe you lost a relationship that was long-term. Maybe somehow your sense of identity was shattered. You lost something that you really identified with. And that's going to be like the background. That's going to be like the background of your next chapter of life. It's going to start somehow with a collapse. But it doesn't necessarily have to be something external. For some of you, this could be an inner realization, and you realizing that, holy crap, you know, I am not living the life that I want, or I'm not being true to myself, you know, or I care too much about other people's opinions, because with the 5 of Wands, I'm getting that feeling here. So, and the 5 of Wands and the 3 of Pentacles shows the importance of communication. In this next chapter of life, you're going to deal with people from different backgrounds, different opinions, maybe not different backgrounds, but people who have different opinions, different principles, and you need to learn to put yourself in their shoes and learn to communicate with them. And I feel like this is going to be very important for you when it comes to your finances and your profession. You're going to have more confidence with the Knight of Wands, but you're also simultaneously going to be more comfortable in your feminine energy. You're going to have flashes of brilliance. I'm getting a little bit of Aquarius energy here as well. You know, like you could be someone who's actually kind of a, you know, a really brilliant person, very intuitive, like maybe moon Aquarius kind of energy. I'm getting this. because like there's a lot of creativity, but a lot of intuition as well. And you are somehow going to be making the most of this in this next chapter of life. And also, now that, you know, you have the Queen, you have the Tower, the Queen of Pentacles, and the Queen of Swords. So this Tower thing, this Tower moment has turned you into a much more resilient person. You're much more intelligent, much more aware of things. You know things that you didn't know before the Tower moment. And you become, in this next chapter, you're going to be much more focused on abundance, on planning, on being self-reliant. But there's also going to be, like I said, a calling towards you learning not to be hyper controlling, and maybe learning that, you know, sometimes a softer touch is going to get you a long way. Kind of like that saying, you know, you can catch more flies with honey than vinegar. I think there's some of that, especially since with the Queen of Swords, I feel like some of you might have a sharp tongue. You know, you might have, also because the Five of Wands is here, so it's like you might have a tendency to be blunt, to not hide your true opinions, you know, which may create more conflict for you down the line. And since you also have the Three of Cups, there's also, again, a reinforcement that you need to learn to, you know, carpe diem, basically. You need to learn to enjoy the moment. You need to learn to, you know, see and enjoy the little pleasures of life, you know, the little achievements as well. Not just be always focused on duty and work and security and achievement. Yeah, pretty much this is what I can see from the card. So let me see what is happening with the notes. So, Spirit, what can you tell me about pile number 3, the people who chose the Ruby Zoya side? What messages do they have from their ancestors? What message do you have? Okay. Spirit, what can you tell me about pile number 3, the people who chose the Ruby Zoya site? What messages do their ancestors have about the next chapter in their lives? Help me out. Okay, that's enough. That is enough. Okay, let's see. 11th house. 6th house. 5th house. 4th house. 4th house is a confirmation of the Empress energy and the moon, like I said. So there's like this mothering, nurturing energy. 3rd house, communication and travel to some extent. 1st house, the house of self. Like I said, all lies on you. You're going to stand out. Come on. 8th house. This explains the Tower card. Okay. Let me get these as well. Now I'm going to interpret them. The moon. I cannot make this up. So the moon, like I said, yeah. Capricorn. Okay. Capricorn is definitely kind of like K2. This is a confirmation of the High Priestess. But yeah, Capricorn is a confirmation of all the pentacles. And Mars. I was expecting some Aries action here because you have the Ram. I knew it. I just knew it. And Perseverance, right? Capricorn. Actually, Mars and Capricorn, both of them could be related to this Ram energy. And as you can see, you have especially if you come from an astrology background, you have a combination of very feminine and very masculine and very spiritual. Yeah. So let me start with the beginning. What was I going to say? Okay. So this next chapter of your life, the 6th house is about service. The 6th house, I feel, actually is kind of a confirmation of the 6 of Pentacles. So you're going to somehow be called to be of service to other people. And now I have the number 8 here. Yeah, the number 8 to me here, the 8 of Pentacles, this is Saturn and also the Tower card, but it can also be the 8th house. The 8th house is about transformation, and it's also about ups and downs, sudden changes, you know, could also be a collapse of self, a collapse of some situation of security, you know. So with the 8th house being a part of this next chapter, actually, this shows on the one hand resilience. You're going to have to cultivate resilience. You might have to learn about investing. With the 5th and the 8th houses, you might definitely be called to learn how to invest money, how to multiply your money. Could also, which is again a confirmation of all the pentacles happening here. And wow, like this is really interesting. The 4th house and the 8th house, for some of you, this could be about relocation. So you could be moving to a foreign place, especially a place where there is a foreign language being spoken. The 5th house is also about romance and about children. Like I said, okay, 4th house is about home and motherhood, and the 5th house is about children. So for some of you, this could be, the next chapter is going to be about children, about motherhood, or at the very least, you know, it's about you just pampering yourself. It's about, you know, taking that introverted stance, focusing on building a nest, beautifying your nest, staying basically in a little comfortable nest, as opposed to a lot of, you know, traveling or restlessness. Although there could definitely also be traveling involved with the 3rd house and the 8th house especially. But with this combination, especially more than the other piles so far, could show relocation for some of you, you know, moving to a foreign place. And also there could be some transformation happening with respect to your physical appearance. And again, the 11th house is also gains, right? So this makes sense with all the pentacles. You're going to experience an increase of your finances and your social status, most likely due to your own hard work and your investments. This is also going to be the next chapter, something to do with a home. So for some of you, this could be you're buying your first home ever, you know, or you're moving into a new place. Maybe not necessarily abroad, but just a different home, a better home, right? Or it could be buying vehicles, you know, changing your vehicles, having better ones. And with the Mars and the Moon energy, like I said, I feel like a lot of you are struggling to balance these sides of you. It's like, on the one hand, you are very driven. You have a strong masculine energy. You're used to just pushing things forward, right? Like if you want something, you're just going for it straightforwardly. You're not used to relying on other people. And now you're going to have to, in this next chapter, have to balance your feminine side with this masculine side. Okay, so this could literally be for many of you that you're going to have to balance motherhood with a career. You're going to have to figure it out somehow. But there's also like this message that you might be neglecting either one or both of these. Okay, so for some of you, if you are, let's say, a woman who is very feminine, or you identify as very, very feminine, this is an invitation for you to ask yourself if you are happy. You know, like, are you truly happy just being in your feminine energy, or do you also want to, you know, be more of a go-getter? Do you also want to have a career? Stuff like that. So there's like going to be some questions with respect to this work, personal life versus work-life balance. And for some of you, it could be the other way around. You know, maybe you have been focused too much on career, and now you realize that you would like to have a family, or if you have children, you want to spend more time with them. So it's like But I feel like for most of you, it is possible. You're going to manage to balance these things out. But it is going to take a conscious effort. And this next chapter is definitely going to be about you asserting yourself, going after what you want, not waiting around, right? Not waiting for someone else to give you stuff. Even though you might be presented with, you know, gifts or people trying to pamper you or something like that, it's still about you being proactive. You know, it's about not just expecting for things to fall on your lap, basically. And there's going to be maturity in this. It's really interesting now that I think about it, because you have Capricorn and then you have this thing about aging. I am one with unlimited love beyond all seeming restrictions of age. Wow, I am filled with joy, energy, and a beautiful vessel for divine Shakti. Wow. Yeah, so I think for some of you, yeah, more specifically, this could be about something about aging, you know, like maybe having thoughts about aging or something. Maybe if this is something that is on your mind, you know, like you're worried about it. So I think, again, this is kind of a message from your ancestors, you know, to live in the moment and, you know, to not define yourself through other people's criticisms or definitions or anything like that, which I know is easier said than done. With the Ketu energy, it's kind of like a confirmation of all the 7 energy that I've seen so far. Like I said, my baby Aquarius, but it's actually Ketu, it turns out. Ketu would have been my second guess after Aquarius because of all the number 7 coming up. So I think Ketu here with the High Priestess, you know, and the Moon, very, very sharp intuition. You're going to have very sharp intuition, and there's definitely an invitation for you to rely on that. You know, don't avoid it, don't ignore it, don't downplay it. Figure out, I think, a way to use it. I think there's like a message here that you should use your creativity, your imagination, your intuition in your everyday life. And these things are only going to get sharper. Your intuition is only going to get sharper, you know, during this time. And spirituality for you, spiritual practices are very important. You know, don't get carried away by superficiality. Not that there's anything wrong with wanting financial stability, but you need to also keep in mind who you really are at your core, your essence. You know, maybe starting a spiritual practice. This is also a message. For some of you, very specifically, this could be like you wanting to move somewhere close to water, maybe close to the sea. And I think if that's something you have been thinking about, this is a strong message that it will happen during this next chapter. But yeah, pretty much this is what I see. And, you know, I hope you have found this useful. And also the Moon, I was thinking about this, don't know if I said it. Strong confirmation that you might become a mother during this time, also with the Moon and the Mars combination. Yeah, so this next chapter is definitely going to be fertile, so watch out, you know, if you don't want to get pregnant, you know what I mean. So yeah, this has been pretty much what I've seen in your reading, pile number 3, and I hope you have found this useful, because I definitely found this really interesting. So I hope it resonated. Please let me know in the comment section if it did, if it didn't, you know, anything you would care to share. And of course, if you have found value in this reading or any other reading on my channel, please consider subscribing. It will only take a second and it's free, and it's the easiest way to support me. And also hit the notifications bell to see when I will post a new video, and also the like button if you have liked this video. And also, if you're interested in getting a private reading from me, I do tarot readings and I also do astrological readings, so you can check out the video description for my contact details. And if you're interested in a tarot reading though, I could also send you a pricing list and some sample readings, and, you know, different details and testimonials and feedbacks that I have gotten so far from potential clients. If you're interested, of course, you can check out the video description. I have left my contact information there. Thank you. Hello, pile number 4. This is your reading if you have chosen this smoky quartz crystal and or this card that says, "Can you hear me?" and for which I will be reading the description after I select all the cards. Hold on, I had to mend the screen a bit because it was wonky. In any case, so this is going to be the card shuffling and selection phase, and I'm going to add timestamps so you can skip directly to the reading, the interpretation, if you don't want to sit through this, because I'm going to be taking my time. So Spirit, what can you tell me about pile number 4, the people who chose the smoky quartz crystal? What messages do you have for them from their ancestors about the next chapter in their lives? Help me out, Spirit. What messages do you have for them from their ancestors about the next chapter in their lives? What messages do you have for them from their ancestors about the next chapter in their lives? Okay. Anything else, Spirit? What messages do you have for pile number 4 about the next chapter? Okay, this one just came out. Okay. Spirit, what messages do you have for pile number 4 about the next chapter of their lives? What messages do you have from their ancestors or loved ones that have departed? What can you tell them about the next chapter in their lives? What's it going to be about, Spirit? Help me choose the right oracle cards. Help me out. What is the next chapter in their lives? What is the next chapter in their lives? Nah, I'm not feeling this. Nah, I'm not feeling this either. Spirit, what can you tell me about pile number 4 and their next chapter in their lives? What messages can their ancestors give me? What messages do their ancestors want to send about the next chapter in their lives? What messages do you want to send, Spirit? Okay. So let's see. You have travel and ambition. Let every aspect of this trip unfold in harmony. May divine order arrange and handle every detail. I'll be guided easily and follow the leads as they are shown. Ambition. May I offer all my deepest longings to love itself and invite a divine plan beyond the mind's imagining. Please use me for the highest good. And here we have frog, prosperity. Let go of the past and embrace change. Opportunities are close at hand. Hop into this new day with joy. Abundance and good fortune await you. Orca, whale, adventure. Dare to do things differently. Sing your wild song. Manifest your travel dreams. Attempt the great journey with confidence. Be loyal. Friends and family are your treasures. Be brave. You are more powerful than you know. Black bear, guardian. I've never had this card before. Gentle and wise protector, give me your confidence and power. Help me protect the ones I love. Awaken my intuition and guide me. Wow, really? I already am getting really strong messages here, but I'm gonna shut up until I get all the cards. And now I'm gonna read the description for this card that says, can you hear me? Number 28. Let's see, from the booklet. Loneliness, cry for help, communication. A woman floats in a seashell on the big sea. She looks to the horizon as if she is waiting for somebody. She is holding a trumpet in her hand, ready to blow it when the time comes. The ocean symbolizes her feelings, vast and seemingly unknowable. It surrounds her in an endless arc. She looks lonely and deserted, but she has a way of connecting, a tool for turning passive silence into supportive communication. She just needs to raise her trumpet and call for help. Very interesting. I'm getting some really strong messages already, but yeah, I need to select the cards first, the tarot cards. Spirit, what can you tell me about pile number 4? What messages do their ancestors have for them? Tell me. What can you tell me about pile number 4? What messages do their ancestors have for them about the next phase in their lives? What messages can you send from their ancestors? What messages do you have for pile number 4 from their ancestors? What messages do you have for pile number 4? What messages do you have for pile number 4 from their ancestors? Ooh, okay, this one just wanted to come out. Okay, so that's it. Let's see. Is this 6? Yes. The Tower. Wow. This card came out first for pile number 3 as well. So you might want to check it out if you were drawn to pile number 3. Then you have 10 of Pentacles. That's a good one. The Queen of Wands. The 10 of Cups. I am jealous. The 6 of Swords. The King of Cups. Okay, let's see some more cards. Spirit, what can you tell me about pile number 4? About the next... What can you tell me about pile number 4? What messages do you have from their ancestors? Their ancestors about the next chapter of their life. What do their ancestors have to say about the next chapter of their life, Spirit? What do their ancestors have to tell them about the next chapter of their lives? What is coming up in their lives? Yeah, I'm not feeling this one. Yeah, I'm going to shuffle again. Spirit, what can you tell me about pile number 4? What is the next chapter in their lives? What do their ancestors have to tell them about the next chapter in their lives? Spirit, what can you tell me about pile number 4? What is the next chapter in their lives? What messages do they have from their ancestors or from their loved ones who have passed? What messages do you have, Spirit? Tell me. Oh, okay. So let's see. The 9 of Pentacles. You're going to be rich. The Hierophant. You're going to be rich and married. Okay, I'm going to shut up until I get all the cards. The 4 of Swords. The 5 of Wands. I think this card came out in all groups. The Queen of Cups. The 4 of Wands. Wow. Pile number 4. I am officially jealous. I know jealousy is a bad thing, so I'm gonna shut up. But okay. First of all, what is the next chapter of your life? May I offer all my deepest longings to love itself and invite a divine plan beyond the mind's imagining. Please use me for the highest good. So, I mean, what is coming up in the next chapter for you is something you could have not dreamt of up until this point. I think, especially with this card here and the Tower card, I think you probably will start this new chapter, and maybe for a long time before this new chapter, you have felt deserted, abandoned. Maybe you have gone through a lot of troubles, a lot of hardships, and you felt like you had nobody to turn to for help. I think you've been alone for a long time, and I mean not just celibate, but I mean you haven't felt like you haven't had a strong support network, I think. And look at this, frog prosperity. I mean, prosperity, definitely. I mean, you have multiple confirmations of this. And also the interesting thing about you have travel and you have this whale, orca whale, and you have all these images about water. So I feel like maybe for some of you, you're gonna be something, you might be moving across an ocean, or you might be, you know, traveling somewhere near the sea. Something about water could be quite literal for some of you, like you might be moving somewhere close to a body of water, a natural body of water. But it also just shows that you are an extremely creative person, very imaginative. I wouldn't be surprised if you have strong water energy in your chart, but Pisces, Scorpio, or Cancer, or maybe a strong moon energy, strong Ketu energy as well. And I think, I mean, look at this. You're almost certainly in this next chapter of your life, you're going to have a happy family life. And I think you're going to get married, really. I mean, there's strong indicators here. And maybe marriage, I don't know, for some of you, you could not believe in marriage or you don't care about marriage, but you're going to have the equivalent of that, okay? So maybe it's not going to be like an official marriage, but it's going to be pretty much like that, you know. Going to get together with a partner, you're going to start a family. If you already have a family, this is going to be a particularly good chapter for your family. I'm seeing kids here involved potentially as well. I mean, look at this. You have the Four of Wands, the Ten of Cups, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Hierophant. A lot of number 4 here and a lot of number 5. So I think it's like you're going to be learning to balance your desire for freedom and independence with your desire for stability and having a home and a happy home life. And you're also going to be putting a lot of energy into your career. But I think you're going to be like really successful as well. You're going to reach a respectable position with respect to your career, with respect to society, with respect to wealth. You're going to be, and most likely, actually, you have the ability to become self-sufficient. And look at this here. I don't know. Can you see this? I mean, look at the parallels between these two images. One of them is a woman, you know, being defeated, holding that trumpet next to her, not even lifting it. And right next to her is this woman who is abundant in, you know, rich clothes, holding a falcon on her hand. You know, so it's like you're going from this to this. You know, you're going to start this chapter by feeling quite isolated, quite alone, maybe depressed as well. And you're going to, like, to a large extent through your own efforts, improve your life drastically. Get to a point where you are abundant, where you are happy, you know. I mean, this is a strong one. The next chapter is also about you resting and going within you. And I know this is kind of like cliche, and it's probably true for a lot of people. But look at this. You have the Queen of Wands and you have the Four of Swords underneath. The Queen of Wands is a card that speaks of having a shadow side. So this next chapter is about you practicing introspection, practicing maybe meditation, you know, self-awareness, becoming aware of how you are being your own enemy, you know, how you are getting in the way of your own progress, and removing those obstacles. It's about building a legacy, and I think most likely this is about you with a partner, like you're getting married and stuff. Look at this. You have the Ten of Pentacles and the Hierophant underneath. This is like, wow, this is really specific, but for some of you, I mean, also because I said you might be traveling, and you do have this card that says travel here. There's, you also have this card that says travel, and here you have adventure. I think like you might be relocating, some of you, like you might be moving abroad, and I think most likely it is on your own. And the reason and this started from this, like you see, the Five of Wands and then the Ten of Cups. So some of you might be marrying abroad, like in a foreign place, maybe close to the sea. You're going to become extremely intuitive, like really, I mean, I think you already are very intuitive. You have a sharp intuition, sharp imagination, but you're going to grow into yourself. You're going to grow into a more mature version of yourself, where you are confident in your abilities and your talent, your imagination. You're not going to be afraid to be yourself, basically. And look at this, the Six of Swords. Wow. I mean, the imagery is amazing. I mean, amazing. Look at this. They came out one under the other. So here you have someone who is in troubled waters, you know. This is what the Six of Swords is about. You are leaving difficult situations. Again, this literally makes me think of refugees. So again, for some of you, maybe that is the case. But it may, of course, that's very specific. For most of you, it's just you're leaving your troubles behind. You know, I'm Walking Away by Craig David, if you know that song. It's like you're leaving the dark times behind you. You know, you're starting this chapter with the Tower card and not doing great and feeling alone and abandoned and, you know, maybe even defeated. And you are moving from that and reaching this, you know. It's like, do you see how this is someone at sea and like, you know, wading through troubled waters and stuff? And this is a person who has built a throne on the shore. Like, it's like you get the sense that, you know, this small child, this lost child, has reached this new land and now has built a throne and all these riches, you know, and is in a position of security and stability. So this is what I'm getting. Like, you're basically, I mean, congratulations. What can I say? You have the best reading out of the 4 readings. So yeah, don't tell the others. Because they'll be jealous. But yeah, I mean, I'm seeing success overall. I'm seeing realization. I am seeing potentially the most difficult thing is that you're going to have to deal with, first of all, your shadow side. So potentially some psychological hangups that you might have, or complexes. I think this is mostly to do with confidence, things that are holding you back with respect to your confidence, your self-esteem. But you will be working through these. This is an invitation to rest. You know, this new chapter is also about going within, resting, getting in touch with that intuition as well. And then it's also just about success overall. So I'm seeing success, you know, professionally and personally, money and family, and potentially children as well. Yeah, so this is pretty much, I mean, look at this. And also you have this black bear guardian, gentle and wise protector. Give me your confidence and power. Help me protect the ones I love. awaken my intuition and guide me. So you're going to be like some kind of a patriarch or a matriarch of the family. You know, you're going to be focused on keeping everyone happy and stabilizing your family. You might become the center of a family. I'm getting this like strong message that for many of you, you may have felt alone and unsupported. And by the end of this new chapter, you're going to be like the foundation of a family and maybe even groups of friends, you know, or it could be one or the other, or it can be both. But I think for you, most likely marriage, because you have a lot of indicators here. Marriage and starting a family, I think, are part of this next chapter. Okay, so let me see what the astrological messages have to say. Spirit, what can you tell me about pile number 4? What do their ancestors have to tell them about the next chapter in their lives? What can you tell me about pile number 4? What do the ancestors, their ancestors, have to tell them about the next chapter in their lives? Spirit, come on. What do the ancestors have to tell them about the next chapter in their lives? Spirit. Okay. What do their ancestors have to tell them about the next chapter in their lives? Yeah, this one. And I'm gonna get more messages. Spirit, what can you tell me about pile number 4 and what messages they have from their ancestors about the next chapter in their lives? Okay, that's too many, I think. Let me see. 8th house, transformation. 9th house, travel and higher education. 3rd house, travel and communication. 6th house, service and work. 11th house, gains, friends, siblings. Siblings show up in the 3rd house and the 11th house. 4th house, what did I say? That's Cancer energy, okay? So that's like you about a home, something about a home. And 2nd house, family. 2nd house is family and values, okay? But I'm going to get to this in a bit. And Taurus. Sagittarius, travel. The moon. I did say you have a strong moon energy. Gemini, okay, communication. Right, so confirmations upon confirmations. 8th house and 6th house shows the challenging times, okay? So you still have some challenges ahead of you. Enemies, competition, work, toil, competition. Look at this. Yeah, so you're going to have to deal with something like most likely this is competition to do with the competition you encounter when you're trying to improve your living situation. So your job, moving abroad, stuff like that, getting a job, most likely. But it's also about you learning to be of service to others, learning to use your intuition. 11th house is the house of gain. So overall, you're going to be wealthier, more prosperous in this new phase of life, which is a confirmation as well of the frog prosperity card. And then, like I said, I feel with the 8th house and the 4th house and the 2nd house, this is a confirmation of what I said, potentially for some of you, that you could be moving abroad and starting a family abroad, buying a house abroad. For some of you, it could just be that you're buying a house or you're moving into a new place that is nice, you know, that is nicer than what you had before. Could also be that you might be purchasing vehicles, you might be focusing on real estate. This is also, for some of you, you're going to be getting into investments, taking a loan maybe. Something to do with in-laws for some of you as well. So like, yeah, I'm getting like marriage. This is like something to do with marriage. Ninth house is actually also a house of marriage because, yeah, if you come from Vedic astrology, you know why the ninth house is connected to marriage. But in your case, I feel like there are loads of confirmations here. I see effort. I see you applying your willpower with the third house and the sixth house being diligent with your routines. Eighth house about, like I said, transformation. You might be in a position where you end up managing other people, managing other people's finances and resources. Ninth house is also potentially about teaching. But it could also be like you choosing to pursue a higher education. And also ninth house is long distance travel. Yeah, so I mean with the fourth, the second, the eighth, and the ninth house, I think for a lot of you this could be moving abroad. This is also a strong emphasis. I mean, for some of you, you might be singers. And this is similar to, I think, pile number 1. But I'm not 100% sure. But yeah, with you, it's even stronger, I think. You have Taurus, you have the second house, you have the third house, and then you have this orca whale adventure that says, sing your wild song. So I think for some of you, you might be singers, you might be artists, but especially something to do with communication, you know, or some kind of a profession where you use your voice a lot. You know, you could be a teacher, a public speaker, something where you are reaching out to wide audiences. Because of the 11th house, that's a confirmation of wide audiences. Sagittarius is a confirmation of travel being involved. Taurus is about prosperity, beauty, hedonism. Taurus to me is kind of like a confirmation of this 9 of Pentacles card. Gemini is about communication. So Gemini is like reinforcing the second and the third houses. So somehow this next chapter of yours is going to involve communication, most likely with people from foreign origins, from different backgrounds. The moon, confirmation of you starting a family, I think, but also at the same time that you are going to be focused on your imagination, your creativity, your home base, your family, the relationship with your mother and your family of origin as well somehow is going to become more important in this in this next chapter of your life. And also the moon is something about water, like I said. So like you might be like something to do with water. Like, I don't know, maybe some of you are thinking about, I don't know, working on a cruise ship or something. Because there's like a lot of water here. There's like a lot of water travel and stuff. But also the moon is about being, you know, starting a family, becoming a mother, becoming a parent, being nurturing, something to do with real estate as well. So see how that resonates. If you have been considering getting into real estate, this is definitely a confirmation. Or something to do with cars, vehicles, you know, some business connected to vehicles. And of course, for some of you, yet you could be traveling for education. But this is overall you becoming more self-sufficient, more successful, but mainly due to your hard work as well. So like, it's not going to be like some huge windfall is going to fall on your lap or something. It's mainly because you're going to be willing to work hard. So I feel like I have to stress that. But it's also a little bit of luck as well. Like, I think luck is on your side, definitely. And it's, you know, it's part of your, yeah, it's part of your destiny, I think, within this next chapter, to travel, to become more prosperous, to have more freedom, but at the same time to find stability in life. So to start a family, to focus on a family. So yeah, this is pretty much what I have for you, pile number 4. And I hope you have found this interesting, because I definitely have. And if you have found this useful or any of my readings, please consider subscribing. It is free and it will only take a second, and it's the easiest way to support me. And also consider liking the video and hitting the notifications bell to see when I will post a new video. And also, if you're interested in a personal consultation, I do consultations on varieties, different topics, different variations, and I can send you a list of prices as well as feedbacks that I have gotten from previous clients and sample readings if you're interested in that. And of course, I also do astrological consultations, and you can check that out in the video description. I have left my contact information. So yes, this has been it. Thank you for listening.